Hello everyone. I'm here today to talk about the Victorinox Fibrox 8-inch chef's knife. I see it mentioned so often on knife forums that I finally caved in and bought myself one. It's said to have the cutting performance of the higher end knives, but at a fraction of the cost. So of course I was very curious to see how this performs to the other knives in my collection. Not that I need any more knives in my kitchen, but this was something I could not pass up. And at $40, it's definitely much more budget conscious for a lot of people out there who are looking for a good performing knife. So I'm gonna see if this $40 knife here, is just as good as, say, my Moritaka Japanese chef's knife. This is a $170 knife, and you would think that this knife would outclass this knife here, but I've been using this knife for a little bit now, and I can say when it comes to long-term food preparation, for comfort and feel, I prefer this knife over the Moritaka. Even though the Moritaka has a much finer blade, my hand actually starts to fatigue and hurt when I use this for an extended period of time. So overall, $40, I do prefer this over the Moritaka. Now, as you can see, this knife is not particularly pleasing to look at. It's pretty dull. When I say chef knife, this is probably what you would picture in your mind, right? This is exactly what a chef knife should look like. Well, the blade is high carbon stainless steel, made in Switzerland. The handle here, the Fibrox handle, is actually quite nice. It's some sort of plastic composite with a grippy texture to it. It feels really good in my hands. It feels very secure actually. And the knife, while it looks pretty large, it is actually quite light for its size. Coupled with the handle, I can tell you that if you're going to work with food preparation, slicing, dicing, whatever, for an extended period of time, this is definitely something you should consider. Now, I know there is another version of this knife out there, or something similar, called the Victorinox Classic. The blade, I believe, is the same, but the handle for that one on the classic version is a little different. So this is the version that is a little bit more expensive. It's just called the Victorinox Fibrox 8-inch chef's knife. If you see the word classic on it, on the description, it is probably not this knife, all right? And this knife costs about probably 25% more than the classic version. So I'm gonna do some slicing and dicing here in just a few seconds, and I'm gonna see how it really performs against my Moritaka. Alright, so right now I have a delicious tomato right here in front of you. And I'm gonna start with the Moritaka first, which is, like I said before, the sharpest knife I have in my knife collection. And I'm just gonna do some simple slicing with this tomato. Alright, I'll reserve one half for the Moritaka, and I'll reserve the other half for the Victorinox Fibrox. Alright, right half. Very clean cuts, and then we're just gonna go this way. Very nice fine cuts with the Moritaka. So as you can see, very sharp blade. I don't have to press too hard. The knife pretty much does the work. And now I'm going to move on to this one here, which is the Victorinox. Actually, I would say right now this Victorinox is cutting much better than a Moritaka for some reason. And I'm not too sure why, but This one feels really good. Look at that. Alright, now we're on to the onion. And I'm going to start again with the Moritaka. I'm just going to do a simple dicing of the onions here with the Moritaka and see how it goes. Come and see how this is going to compare with the Victorinox. Alright, then do one more cut down here. And there we go. And this thing makes dicing onions so easy, so fine. All right, I'm gonna clear the board now. I guess I have to use all these ingredients now that I'm cutting them up. All right, here's another one, the other half of the onion. And here is the Victorinox. Let's do this. I'm actually having a much easier time doing the initial cuts on the onion than the Moritaka actually, and that's actually great news for anyone looking for a good knife. You know, you don't have to spend $170 on a knife, but for 40 bucks, it seems to be performing or outperforming right now the Moritaka. And there you go, very fine cuts indeed. All right. I'm gonna clear this board. Well, so there we are, folks. As you can see, the Victorinox here definitely is not outclassed by the Moritaka here. Like I said, this $40 knife has performed just as well, if not better. Actually, I would say better in these tests than the Moritaka. So for $40, this is quite a bargain for a knife that can perform this well. So like I said, I really recommend this knife, and I think I am going to keep this knife. I thought about returning it to the store before I bought it, after I used it for a little bit, just to play around with it. But I think this thing now has a permanent home in my kitchen knife collection. Well, that's all, folks. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time.